All right, so I'm not going to go over every single question on this Jeopardy. You do have the questions and the answers for all these. I'm definitely not going to cover these first two sections because those are pretty simple. You should be able to do those by now. In the foil, I will probably just cover two. I will probably cover one of each of the difference of squares and binomial squared, and I'll probably cover two of these multi-factored expansions. All right, so let's go ahead and move on. All right, let's just do two of the harder questions then for foil. All right, so remember, I don't really care exactly which method you use to choose. I will show you two different methods here. The first, I will just show you the arrows. So remember, we can draw the arrows. So 2x times x gives me 2x squared. 2x times 6 will give me plus 12x. Negative 7 times x gives me minus 7x. And negative 7 times 6 will give me minus 42. I then look and see, well, I have like terms here, so I can combine those, and it's 2x squared plus 5x minus 42. Just make sure that you are writing this in standard form. So we have to go our highest power and then work our way down till we get to x is 0 or there is no x. All right, so this will be our final answer for this one. So let's move on to this question. So we have 2 minus 3x times 5x plus 6. So the other method I will go over with you is just a table. So we have 2 minus, whoops, let me just spread this out a little bit more. So we have 2 and then minus 3x. Remember, whatever signs it is, you need to make sure when you create your columns and rows that that sign stays with our numbers. So 5x and then plus 6. All right, then when we fill each, just like your Punnett square, we just multiply. This will then give me 10x. This is negative 3x times 5x, so negative 15x squared. This one will be 2 times 6, so that is 12. And this last one is negative 3x times 6, so negative 18x. And remember, majority of the times when you do this, your like terms, if there are any, are going to fall diagonally with each other. So now we can just go ahead. We will write this x squared first. So it's negative 15x squared. There's nothing else to combine it with. 10x and negative 18x simplify to negative 8x. And then our last one is this plus 12. All right, I don't really care which method you use. Your preference. All right, let's move on to another problem. All right, so let's do the difference of squares. So this you can do one of two ways. 3x plus 4 and 3x minus 4. Well, one of the things that we talked about is if we have two of the exact same numbers, if you want to say that, but one of them changes signs, there is a formula that we can just follow where it's a squared minus b squared. So whatever one is being changed, you just need to make sure you minus that, and then you're squaring. And the reason why we're minusing is a positive b times a negative b will be a negative value. So here, since I'm looking, I can notice, well, this value does not change, so that is going to be my a, so I can write it as 3x raised to the second power. It's going to be minus, and then here I see that this 4 does change its value, so that's my b, so it's going to be 4 squared. And now I just simplify, so this 3 and this x are both going to be squared, so it'll be 9x squared. 4 squared, 16, and that will be your final answer. If you wanted to, you could have also used your foil or lines. You could have distributed it here. And the thing is just when you distribute, this outer and inner term will eliminate, and you'd still be left with 9x squared minus 16. All right, for this one, let's go over this one. I will go through two ways, 2x plus 3 squared. The first way that you can do this is instead of writing it as 2x plus 3 squared, we know that 5 squared is equal to 5 times 5, which is 25. So we could rewrite this 2x plus 3 times 2x plus 3. And then from here, we can go ahead and we can FOIL. So we get 2x squared plus 6x plus 6x plus 9. And our final answer would then be 2x squared plus 12x plus 9. Well, there's also a formula that we learn when we're doing binomial squared. A plus b squared is equal to a squared plus 2ab plus b squared. So what we are doing here is we take the first term, which in this case is 2x, and we square it. 2x squared. And then we're doing a times b, which is our two terms. So we would then take 2x and we multiply it by 3. So that will then be is equal to 2 times 2x times, whoops, not equals. This is not equal. Sorry. This should be plus 2 times 2x times 3. And then our second term, whatever it is, b, we need to square it as well. In this case, it is this 3. So plus 3 squared. And now we can go ahead and just reduce this or simplify. So this square gets distributed to both. So it's 4x. I'm sorry, yes, 2x times 2x is 4x squared. So this would be 4. So 4x squared. 2 times 2 is 4. Times 3 is 12, so plus 12x. And 3 squared is 9, so plus 9. All right. So either one, you still get the right answer. So let's go ahead and let's work on a couple of these. I'm going to do this one here. So we have x minus 3 times x plus 5 minus x minus 2 times x plus 3. Right? So here we have three things that we're multiplying together. We have this minus 1, we have this x minus 2, and we have this x plus 3. You pick which two you want to multiply first. What I suggest you do is you FOIL first. That you multiply these two, and then you're going to distribute this negative sign at the end. But there's different ways you can do it. So we can get x squared plus 5x minus 3x minus 15. We have this minus sign, so we cannot forget about that. And then we need to distribute this, but we also need to remember that the minus needs to be multiplied afterwards. So we have to keep this in parentheses. So we will get x squared plus 3x minus 2x minus 6. And now we're just going to go ahead and simplify. Here we have x's that we can simplify. So x squared plus 2x minus 15. We still have this minus sign that we need to distribute in. Here we have like terms, so we can simplify there. X squared plus x minus 6. And now we need to, don't forget, but distribute the negative to all three terms. So then we get x squared plus 2x minus 15 minus x squared minus x plus 6. And now we look for like terms. Well, here we got negative x squared and positive x squared. They completely cancel. Here we got 2x and minus x, so they simplify to give me x. And here we have negative 15 plus 6, and that simplifies to just minus 9. So it is x minus 9. All right, and now let's go ahead and do this last problem. So we have 2x minus 3 times 3x plus 1 plus x plus 5 squared. All right, so what I would suggest is let's get rid of this square first. So we're going to rewrite this. 2x minus 3 times 3x plus 1 plus x plus 5 times x plus 5. Now, the good thing about this problem is this is a positive sign here, not a negative. So that means we don't have to worry about multiplying this negative number at the end. So it makes it a little bit easier for us. So we will just FOIL. So we will get 6x squared plus 2x minus 9x minus 3. And then here we get x times x, so plus x squared plus 5x plus 5x plus 25. Whoops. Plus 25. And now we will combine our like terms. That's here. So we get 6x. Oh, I'm sorry. We're going to combine all of our like terms. So we have 6x squared and an x squared. So that's going to combine to give me 7x squared. Here I have 2x minus 9x and 5x plus 5x. So this is 10x. This is minus 7x. So they combine to give me plus 3x. And here I have minus 3 and plus 25. So that will be plus 22. All right. So that is it for this video I'm going to go through. I know I didn't go through all of them, but you can watch the other video going over this whole chapter 4. And every one of these covers all the different types that you'll see.